Hello, everybody. What the flick? William Bibbiani here with Francis Maxwell. Alonzo is off doing stuff. He'll be back next week. We are reviewing Gotham, episode 20, Beasts of Prey, The Riddler Attacks. Let's take a look.
You need to leave Miss Kringle alone. I'm not going to let you hurt her. Ever again. In fact, I think you need to leave Gotham.
You got a thing for my girl. Want some more? Oopsie daisy.
Awesome.
Good.
Finally.
Yeah.
Finally got there, and it was very satisfying. It was very organic. Other stuff happened in this episode, too, but we got to talk about this Riddler business.
Yeah.
Because there's this great bit where he's always been creepy.
Yes.
The whole bit with like hiding body parts in someone's locker, that's not a good thing.
Yeah.
And yet, when it comes right down to it, his first kill is kind of an accident, kind of self-defense. But then as soon as it's done, he was like, this is neat. Why haven't I been doing this forever?
I love how they introduced this guy as his crush's boyfriend before. He's the nicest guy in the world. And he just happens to be an abusive boyfriend and gives him the chance to basically act like this. And that, I agree with it. It wasn't like a straight cold-blooded murder. It could have definitely been self-defense, but he just looks at his knife, and that moment you're like, all right, finally, this is an antagonist that we can go on board with rather than just focusing on the Penguin most of the time.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing how the Riddler evolves. It's a good episode.
It's a good episode, and it really sets up, because I am so excited for where they're going to go with the Riddler now that this is finally happening. Are they going to? I hope they don't just push it into the background and let it be this thing he just feels weird and guilty about forever.
Next season, maybe?
I want him to be like the fucking Zodiac killer, challenging the police from the inside, messing with it. You can get an entire season out of this being the B plot is when are they going to find out the Riddler, because he's right in front of them, and he's giving them riddles, and he keeps telling them everything, and they don't see it.
And they set it up so well.
So great.
Like when we looked at Nigma being in the police force, this is what we were waiting for, because it gives you that aspect to go towards. It gives you that direction to be like, all right, he's now going to be able to cause problems from inside the structure. Even it doesn't take hard to break that infrastructure.
No, not in
but
Gotham,
he does,
no.
But he does find he is involved in it. So that I was really looking forward to.
And the thing with Gotham, and we've talked this before, one of the problems with Gotham is that it's a prequel to a lot of things that we already know. A lot of characters we know will go on to bigger, better, or at least more fashionably dressy things.
Yes.
And but the problem is that very few of them can actually come to be. We will probably never see Bruce Wayne become Batman.
Yeah.
So in some respects, every Bruce Wayne subplot feels like it's spinning its wheels. But the Riddler, we're getting there.
But you know what we will see Batman do? Is in a nice slow dance with Catwoman. And
it was adorable.
The nicest, most adorable, cutest scene
Oh my God,
ever.
it was the cutest thing.
But-
we see a clip from that, just how cute is that. Look at them.
We have to.
Look at how
That's so
adorable
cute.
they
But
are.
the thing is with that is like, as much as that is my immediate reaction, that's cute, I feel like they both go really well with each other on camera. And they're both allowing each other to evolve in the story. Because we were, at times, especially Alonzo, we both, the three of us were like, why is Bruce Wayne here? Why is he still in this storyline? But now, he has some form of relevance.
Yeah, well, he has more characters that he interacts with. He's more going. He is actually investigating something, becoming the world's cutest detective, I guess, like a little pint size. But it's good. This is getting him involved. But really, just he has built up over the season. It was a little awkward at first, but he's built up great chemistry. With Selina Kyle. And they clearly come from different sides of the world, but they clearly like each other. The moment where Selina tells Barbara, like, oh yeah, I'm going to that charity function too, and then the door just opens and there's boxes of everything, and she's looking at the shoes. And I've never been more, as much as this is actually a pretty good episode of Gotham, I've never been more disappointed in an episode of Gotham because it didn't cut to a clothing montage. They've almost done a clothing montage in Barbara's apartment twice, and they never go there. I want to see Selina Kyle try one dress after another. I want Barbara to go, and then try another one, and it's totally ridiculous.
She finally becomes a swan. That's
I know. No, I dislike the whole finally becomes a swan thing because she was awesome before.
Yeah.
But she does clean up good. She looks really cute. It was a nice little, junior high date, but as only Gotham could do it, which was nice.
And it seems like the writers are finding any way to try and keep Barbara somewhat relevant as well, because and obviously the ogre's not fully up to date with his Tinder, because he now knows that he doesn't know that Jim Gordon's now got a new love interest, and he goes for his old love interest, and it seems to be a good fit though. It seems that those two going together was like a good fit rather than him going for Lee.
I know, it's weird. Like he goes off and he thinks he's gonna kill her, and then he finds out she's not what he's not what he thought she was, and but then he goes after her anyway, and instead of you got the impression when you saw the flashbacks to like his previous victim that he keeps that, what Alonzo insisted that we call like half 50 Shades of Grey, half Girl with a Dragon Tattoo, room of his own room of mystery.
Yeah.
he kept that from her, and then everyone's like, oh no, you have a torture room. He shows that to Barbara right away.
Yeah.
What's in here? Why don't you find out for yourself? And the last bit of the episode isn't like him grabbing her or anything like that. It's her going, huh. Well, all right, let's do this. This is pretty cool, because let me tell you something. We're out there.
Yeah.
We're out there. People who respond to that very well. That'd actually be kind of interesting if, like, as we saw on Daredevil, there's someone out there for everybody. Maybe she's cool. I don't know if she's going to be cool with the whole murder thing, but, like, the whole, like, the whips, chains, torture, everything, nice.
It would allow me to buy into her character more, rather than her just being there to pull that sad face every time she goes to find Jim and realises he's not there, or runs and comes back. But this is what I wanted to talk about with Lee, his other new love interest. Does Jim's stubbornness just rub off on everyone? He's like, there's a good chance you're going to die. Can you leave? And she's like, no, my job here is too important. You're like, job or living. It's not like you're going away and never come back. You could go away for a week, allow this to blow over, and prevent Jim from being so rushed trying to solve the case, because he's trying to solve it to prevent her from being killed. I'm like, you could at least just give him that.
Well, I will say this. I think, I'm not sure if his stubbornness is running off. I think they're trying to play him off as an inspirational figure to some people on the force, which obviously backfired last week. But when it comes to Lee, I think the idea is that she's just a really good fit for him.
Yeah.
And honestly, here's what I'm scared of. Here's what I'm scared that they're setting up, because, again, Barbara's barely been worth putting on the show most of this season, but they have to be keeping around for some reason. They have to have a plan. So there's two possibilities I see here. One is she's supposed to die tragically, and that's supposed to keep Jim and Lee apart or whatever like that. Or he's supposed to save her, and now he's going to end up going back to her out of some sense of importance, responsibility. Here's my stubbornness again. I have to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Find out she's pregnant or something like that. So some way to keep Jim apart from the woman who is very obviously meant to be with him.
Yeah.
Because if they're just together the whole time, a lot of people would say that's bad drama. I think it's actually potentially great drama because they play off of each other well. But ever since Moonlighting brought their stars together, and then the show started to suck, everyone's been really scared of letting the deal get sealed, and so we try to artificially separate lovers on these shows as much as humanly possible.
Yeah,
as
we just talked about in The Flash, it's the same thing. You try to separate those ones that people kind of want to see together more often than not. And I would definitely see this happening. I would see it coming round full circle and Jim going back to Barbara, because it's at the moment it's so predictable that him and Lee go well. That you kind of think that it's not going to happen, because everyone who in these shows go perfect together either don't go well straight away, or will end up 5th season in or something like that finally happening.
Well, I mean, in the comics, he has a child with Barbara who goes on to become Batgirl.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they're willing to deviate from the future plan of the DC universe that much. Is like having a child with Barbara an inevitability, or is it the sort of thing that they could screw with? I hope they do. Honestly, I think it'd be great if they threw us a curveball once in a while and just say, this character is going to be important in the comics, screw it, we killed him off. And then the safety is off, and you never know where the show is going to go, which I think is one of the problems with the show, is sometimes you do.
Yeah.
Like another thing, we finally got Oswald Cobblepot and his mother.
Yeah.
Can you say Cobblepot for me?
Cobblepot. Oh, I can't say it because I'm just back from the dentist.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. I was looking for a segue to tell the audience. Yeah, I'm just fresh from the dentist.
I wasn't trying to exploit your dental work. I just love hearing you say Cobblepot.
Now I've just realised that is the one word that I can't say at the moment. Is Cobblepot, because I can't go P. I can't go P and B at the same time.
I love you, man. I wasn't trying to make fun of your parents. It's good. But he's been keeping his criminal shenanigans away from his mother, who thinks he's a good boy.
Yeah.
And then Sal Maroni comes in and just screws that whole thing up. And that was a really touching scene, actually, where she just says, just tell me now. I don't treat me like an idiot. Just tell me if there's something that I need to know.
Yeah.
And he doesn't. Yeah. And it broke her heart. She's not that stupid. She's naive, but not stupid.
And there's a bunch of people I was reading out there and like, oh, surely his mum would have realised what he was up to by now. Yeah. Do you know what mums are good at? Is that they're good at deflecting what their son is actually
good at compartmentalizing.
Yeah, they're going to be like, you know what? He may do that on the side, but he's a mad boy, and I love him.
He's a good boy. You see the best in your child, and sometimes you just... And honestly, it's easy to just sometimes ignore with anyone you love, even if in like a romantic relationship, to ignore what is a red flag, to ignore something problematic. And then in a romantic relationship, you can break up, and then you realize, oh, wait, she was terrible for me, or vice versa. Yeah. But you never break up with your kids, or if you do, it's really extreme. Yeah. So it's like, oh, he said something about killing someone, but I don't know. I must have misheard it. It's fine. Like, I buy it. I buy it because it comes from a place of such obvious, I mean, almost overblown love.
Yeah.
That I buy it in that situation. And just him, just the guy who just like, flowers from Sal Maroni, and he just kills the flower guy. And he tells the flower guy, give a message to Sal Maroni. And I'm seeing this guy like, I work for flowers.com. I don't know this guy who ordered the flowers. How am I supposed to? And he just stabs him to death, drags him out in the hall. But no one sees anything. I don't know how he's going to clean up all that blood before anyone comes back home to their apartment. Got some holes in it, but whatever. It was a good scene.
So what do you see happening now? Because we're coming towards. It seems like they're trying to bring everything around, and they're trying to tie it up at some point. Do you see? I would love for us to get a teasing end to the Riddler and have him perhaps segue to being the season two's most like prominent antagonist.
Totally with you on that.
But I don't know if they'll do that.
I don't know if they'll do that either.
I don't know if they'll even reintroduce. I think they'll maybe show in the follow-up episode, show him how he reacts to his first kill and how he deals with it. But then I think they'll do what they've done with the supposed Joker and just leave him off to the side, which I think is a flaw in Gotham as a whole.
I think the Riddler is way too ingrained into the story. The Riddler was a done-in-one villain. Maybe we'll bring him back, maybe we won't.
Yeah.
The Riddler, he's here.
Yeah.
I think they may or may not give us a big cliffhanger with him, but I think they're going to keep this going because obviously they've been building to it for a while.
Yeah.
I'd be very disappointed if they didn't go anywhere with it because it's such a great. It's my favorite subplot on the show. I love
if you're listening, Fox,
I love it. I love it so much. It took me a long time to get me there. I was almost losing faith, but there you go.
It's, for us, we've been sticking with the show. There's been ups and downs. We have had
some serious downs. Some serious downs. Gotham is anything but consistent, even when it's good.
But the guy who killed people with hot air balloons, let's not forget
that guy.
But this is where when they focused on the Penguin and potentially now the Riddler in the same sort of in the same realm, when they met each other, we're like, could they work at the same time? Could they be working around each other at the same time?
That would be great. Each other? Yeah.
I would love that.
No, I love it. I think here's the thing. The best parts of Gotham are the parts that we already know.
Yeah.
Because they're great characters. These characters have stood the test of time for a reason.
Yeah.
So seeing the Penguin and the Riddler come into being is fantastic. Seeing Commissioner Gordon try to put the Gotham police force back together after it's been broken for so long. That is exciting because we know that even though they do come to these conclusions, even though they do get into these states of being, we don't necessarily know how they're going to happen. And it's suspenseful because it's so hard.
Yeah.
It's such a big moment to get there. So that's what I'm hoping they focus on. I'm hoping they sort of I assume we're going to have to get a little bit more Fish Mooney because, as Jada Pinkett has publicly stated, she's not back in season 2.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to conclude that. I don't know if she's going to die or just come back and maybe we'll bring her back for a cameo.
She's just going to wake up and she was actually in a whole subplot like Shutter Island. She just thought that she escaped, but she didn't realize.
Oh, that'd be terrible. No, that would be terrible.
It would be awful.
That would have been wasted episodes. No, that would be bad. I really, really hope we don't do that.
Yeah.
I just want to, I want to see more of the stuff that works. I want to see less of the stuff that doesn't work.
So that was that's been the thesis throughout the whole season. But if they stick to the Riddler and give us more Cobblepot to the point that I can say Cobblepot again,
better.
I'll be excited to watch the tail end of the show.
Absolutely. So keep coming back. We got a couple more episodes of Gotham. We will see you soon on What the Flick.